Oh my God, what the hell is this? He's gonna try it. And will this be enough? My God, Hogan takes him. 1, 2.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Ruckus Wrestling. I am Josh, alongside my tag team partner in this journey, Justin Toner. Another Wrestlemania in the books. A lot of wrestling to cover.
Oh, yeah, we got lots to talk about.
Before, real quick, guys, we're probably just going to do a lot of reviews and then all those fallout and stuff from WrestleMania, Stand Deliver. AEW coming off their best Dynamite in years. What was this Dynamite like? We'll get you all that good stuff. First, the one thing, fortunately, we lost another good one. Fortunately,
yeah.
I do want to at least highlight that.
Yeah.
Steve McMichael, also known as Mondo, I believe. Mongo, in former Four Horsemen, all that defensive tackle, Hall of Fame. That was
the Bears.
I'm glad that he was able to get in before he unfortunately lost
on
his
the Bears Super Bowl winning team.
Yep. Arguably the greatest football team, much less. I don't think there's an argument. It's the best defense.
One of the greatest defenses NFL's ever seen.
Yeah, he was part of that. But he had a great run in WCW, even with the little Chihuahua dog.
WWE for a bit because he was.
He
he was there to support Lawrence Taylor in his feud with Bam Big.
Okay, that was like my just getting into.
I forgot about that. He sat in on commentary with Vince, which was probably. Because I think that's probably why Bischoff and them had him do commentary at WCW because of him doing commentary on Raw with Vince.
Yeah. But he unfortunately did lose his battle with ALS yesterday.
Yeah.
So it's all thoughts and prayers to the family. Mm-hmm. I'm glad he was able to get into the Hall of Fame before he passed away.
Yeah, that was a big thing that he got into the Hall last year because they knew that it's like It's like it got to the point where he was like almost, it's like pretty much completely immobile from the ALS.
Yeah.
And so they were like, he's only got like so much time left, and so they pushed really hard, and he finally got in. So yeah, it's like there's a lot of sadness. Yeah, Ric Flair and Anderson and others paid tribute to him.
Yeah,
he's like he was quite the colorful character. It's like. He may not have been the best wrestler, but it's like he's like he knew how he fit in with the being the talking, and it was very memorable with Deborah McMichael, and it's like and the where he was tag teaming with Kevin Green from the Panthers against the Horsemen. And the Halliburton briefcase full of money was enough for Mongo to turn on Kevin Green and join the Horsemen. So it's like he sold out. That was very memorable, little feud and angle. And it's like that's when he was starting to move away from the working on the commentary desk and being, doing stuff in the ring. So after WCW went under, it's like well, he left. He ended up leaving before. WCW went under, and it's like never got back in the ring, didn't do anything with WWE, so he just kind of stepped away from wrestling, and so yeah, it's very sad. ALS is a horrible disease.
Yeah. So, but at least had to go over that and give him his respects and all of that on our show.
Tuesdays with Maury when it's like when the news broke, it's like the ALS. Yeah.
Yep, it's
condolences to his family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but moving on, the comments were made. Triple H was on they basically were doing a car wash. I mean, it felt like there were 7 interviews dropped a day leading into WrestleMania, depending on what avenue, what outlet. The big one was the comments that Triple H made about the crowd. And
that was the WWE released interview with Sam Roberts, wasn't it?
I think it was Sam.
Because Nick Khan was on Bill Simmons' podcast.
It wasn't Sam. It was the other guy that's on Rosenberg.
Oh, it was Rosenberg. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was Rosenberg. Yeah, because Nick Khan was on Bill Simmons' podcast and said all the it's like taking very obvious pot shots at Tony Khan.
Okay, thank you for bringing that up. So I have two things. The two comments from Nick Khan and that.
Yeah, we'll get to
that middle.
And his I'll say kindly bullshit excuses on the McAfee show the other day.
But we'll cover that when we go
damage
over.
Control.
Yeah,
powers are weak.
Yes, yeah, and I don't think he wanted to do it. I think Ari Emanuel called him and told him to go on McAfee. That's my opinion on that. I think Rock was in, our pun intended, put himself in a rock and a hard place, and the comments that he made were basically saying it's not my fault, it's everyone else's because I wasn't planning on doing it.
Yeah, we'll get into that. We'll get to that. It's like
Nick Khan came out and said that Payton taking pot shots at AEW, but also saying that we don't just bring in people and then put them on the shelf. Yes, you do, Nick. Yes, you do.
Yeah, as soon as I saw that, I laughed so hard, and I was like, gee, where's Omos right now? Oh yeah, he's benched. It's like I can go on and on. It's like poor Tegan Knox, she was benched before she got released. It's like so that was, I was like, come on, man. Yeah. And also we're taking a look at a lot of people. It's like basically saying that we're going to be looking to try to get some more people away from AEW when their contracts are up. Yeah. And that's perfect timing because all the rumors around Mariah May, because her contract's coming up this summer, and there's rumors that she's considering jumping to WWE. So there's going to be a bidding war there for sure.
Yeah. Not everything was bad results. Just the finish, just night 2 main event was just anticlimactic and bad.
It's there was a lot of good on this WrestleMania. It was also some bad, and that includes the Cena Rhodes match, which will it's like we'll get into that in more detail in a little bit.
Yeah. And then the Triple H comment, and also go back to Nick. Like, what have you been doing in Italia now with Natty?
Yeah,
you re-signed her, and she's doing indies and the Bloodsport stuff, and she's doing nothing.
She made that brief appearance teaming with Maxine during the Gauntlet match on SmackDown last week, or 2 weeks ago, and that was it. So
and you brought in much. And you bring in Blair Davenport for a hot second, and then put her on the shelf and release her.
Now I just saw a video Blair Davenport's first time she's commented or she got released. She said, "Hey, this is the business. It's happened. It's like I have no ill will to WWE. Stuff like this can happen. It's like I'm." She goes, "I'm gonna go work the indies in America, which I've never gotten to do, and do some other stuff. And I still got a lot of friends there." And I wish them all the best.
Yeah.
So she took it pretty well.
I think she's going back to New Japan, isn't she? Probably.
She might. She goes. Yeah, she did mention like Japan.
But New Japan is having some money troubles because Naito is leaving. Like, what the hell? So
yeah,
that's some.
But yeah, let's talk about Triple H and his attack on internet critics.
Yeah. What exactly did he basically said, like, just be a fan?
Yeah, he was like, I wish people weren't critics and they just could be a fan and just watch the product and enjoy it. It's basically, it sounds like he was bitching about the fact that people being critical, it's like voicing criticism of how things are done booking wise and everything, all this other stuff. And it's like, come on.
He did walk it back a little bit. Yeah, because when he was on McAfee, he did walk it back a little bit because McAfee brought it up, realizing, hey, guess what? They do listen because McAfee brought it up again, realizing it was a controversial statement that he said. He even said, this might be a controversial statement, but just be a fan, all your opinions. You do listen to opinions because of the WrestleMania.
You listen to the fans because the fans, like last year, the fans made it very clear that they did not like Cody getting shoved aside by The Rock. And they did not, and they made it very loud and clear, which forced them to have to completely pivot, which I think The Rock is still maybe a little sour on. That's just speculation.
Yeah. And then I will say though, they do listen, but I understand also because if you go to like the comment section in that clip, on like Twitter or Blue Sky or wherever you go, it's just people bitching about dumb things. Like they're sometimes the opinions. I'm just like, what are you talking about? Like, no, that's just. But as far as like, I think it's like the Busted Open and SRS and JD from New York, like those opinions that are the largest because of the media that they bring in. they watch it, they work, they do it, they add to your product. You have to acknowledge their opinions because sometimes they're good at where it needs to go. Our show as well.
There's a reason that like certain people like JD from New York, Solo Monster, and other online critics and podcasters have large followings because they agree with a lot of the stuff they say, and most of the time they have very good valid criticisms. It's like for both AEW and WWE. It's like it's like we'll get to it. It's like JD from New York wasn't the only one who was ranting about what a clusterfuck Cena and Cody title match was. It's like even Ariel Helwani, who is a very well-respected journalist, was like, "Nah, brah, that was not good."
No,
like,
no.
So that's like that just tells you that it's like it's pretty much universally agreed the issues what happened in that match. It's like you don't need to rant about it. Everybody was just like. That it's like that was not done well.
No, it was not done well.
You didn't have to go into a big rant like the Greca or JD and others did. It's like because they unleashed.
No. But we're gonna go over night 1 first, then night 2, then we'll go over to Raw, then we'll go to Stand and Deliver, and NXT, and then
we'll do that. Let's do Dynamite. We'll do Dynamite last because that's basically what's kind of like they're the odd one out here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a very small sample size, but you're correct.
It is. This is like, I mean, 38 wasn't bad. It had the KO Stone Cold on night 1, but Brock Roman night 2 was very meh. Yeah. So 39 and 40 were both very, very good, especially 40. I think 40 is going to go down in like one of the best WrestleManias ever.
Yeah, 38.
But this one is definitely one of the weakest they've had in a few years. Overall, not completely horrible. It's like there's some really banger matches that we got out of both nights, but also a lot of. So let's get to it. Let's start with night 1.
Yep. So night 1, Jey Uso defeated Gunther to win the World Heavyweight Championship with the quickest tap out you've ever seen. The New Day defeated the War Raiders, which was the right call there. Jade Cargill defeated Naomi. We'll get to that one. Jacob Fatu defeated LA Knight. El Grande Americano, still one of the best gimmicks going right now. Defeated Rey Fenix. That was a great for Rey to step in for Rey Mysterio. Tiffany did beat Charlotte, thankfully, to retain the WWE Women's Championship. In the main event, which pretty much saved night 1, which Seth Rollins defeated Roman Reigns and CM Punk in a triple threat match after Paul Heyman turned on both Punk and Roman with low blows and gave Seth a steel chair to finish and pin Roman to win, and they left together. Where do you want to start?
Well, I don't mind. Let's go in order because the triple threat main event was the match of night 1. It was the best. It was the best match of night 1. Probably the best thing on night 1. We'll save that for last because it's got long lasting repercussions as we saw in Raw. Let's start with Jey beating Gunther, which we all knew was coming. I thought the match was very good.
Yeah. The finish was weird, just for Gunther of all people to tap out that quickly. That was the weird part. It was kind of like, okay, we see all the beats coming. Here's the finish, and it's over. It's like, what? Hold on.
I didn't mind it because I've seen him do that before. It's like, and plus he was doing all kinds of stuff to him before he did put the sleeper on. So it's like it wasn't just like he just slapped the sleeper and he just tapped out quickly out of nowhere. He hit him with like 3 splashes and some other stuff.
Right.
It's like,
right. I know.
So. Now, as people rightly pointed out, this is not the first time he quickly tapped out a submission move to lose the title. Ilya Dragunov, when he ended Gunther's lengthy, multi-year NXT UK title reign at a takeover, he did it via tap out with a sleeper.
Yeah.
But that was after he just beat the bejesus out of Gunther. So that when he put him in that move, that's why he gave up so quickly because he was just completely spent. Gotcha. So it is a little weird. I get some people. Obviously there's a storyline reason as we saw again. Fallout for the Raw after Mania. He's not happy.
They're gonna. Okay, so DSG, I think it's terrible booking. I would say mid booking. We've been saying that before. I think it's mid booking. I don't think it's terrible. I wasn't disgusted.
I know some people. This is the thing. And I know a lot of people like Jason. I get it. It's like, he's not the best wrestler, but look at how popular he is. They can't just ignore that.
No,
they got it. And like in the preview for the new WWE Netflix show, where they're basically pulling back the curtain and basically be like, hey, that stuff, all that kayfabe stuff, yeah, we're moving that out of the way so you can see what actually goes on behind the scenes. And in one of the clips, Triple H walks up to Jay and says, we're strapping the rocket to you. Yeah. It's like basically let him know it's like, you're going. Yeah. It's like it was probably the discussion where he was told him that he's going to win the Rumble. We're strapping the rocket to you. You're going all the way to Mania and winning the title.
Yeah.
So it's like it. When someone is that popular, it's like you got to give him a title and let him run with it, because otherwise the fans are, it's like you got to make the fans happy, and they're behind Jay. So it's like, whether you like it or not, he's super popular, and so how long he's going to be champion, that's the question. I don't think he's going to have a very lengthy title. I don't think it's going to be like a year like Cody had the WWE title. He's probably going to hold it at least SummerSlam, because there's plenty of heels besides Gunther is going to be gunning for him, as we saw. It's like he's going to have plenty of people coming after him. So it's so I know, I'm not, DSG and others, not Fed so I get that. But it's like, you got to understand, it's like that. He's mega over with the fans that are in the arena. So it's like you can't just discount that. When someone's selling a lot of merch money, you're not going to ignore that.
No, you can't.
You can't.
Vince kind of did, just because it wasn't his creation, it wasn't his thought that led to the. But that's beside the point. But I think, kind of going back to our preview show, kind of highlighting yourself and Josh. Because I said, like, this build to WrestleMania has been pretty mid, and it kind of paid off.
Yeah, there was, and some matches suffered because of the build problems.
Of the build. That being said, yourself and Josh and I in Raw After Mania kind of alluded to it, which is making me really excited for SmackDown tomorrow, is this WrestleMania set stuff up instead of finishing stuff. Whereas WrestleMania 40 finished a lot of long feuds. So this one kind of started a lot more than stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, and we saw,
which is a bold move to make, because I typically admit it's supposed to be the end.
Yeah,
and then Raw After Mania is supposed to kick off the new season,
and also the beginning of stuff too. It's like, like WrestleMania 10. Brett lost the opening match to his brother Owen, one of the best WrestleMania opening matches ever, but he won the title back from Yokozuna the other night, and those two things set up the whole summer with Owen trying to take the title off of and to prove that he's better.
Yep.
It's like, it led to the great cage match they had at SummerSlam for the title. One of my favorite cage matches ever. So, because that was like him beating Yoko and getting the title back closed the chapter from 9 last year, where he lost the title to Yoko, and the whole Hogan fiasco happened. So that closed that chapter, and then him losing to his brother in the beginning of the show set the stage for the next couple months. So it's like Mania ends stuff and also begins stuff. It's like it's a beginning and an end. And Triple H mentioned that in the press conference. It's like, there's a lot of stuff that was set up and that was followed up on Raw when we'll get to Raw. Now, speaking of matches that suffered from the build, New Day War Raiders, perfectly fine match. Nobody gave a fuck.
Nobody cared.
This match was set up within the last 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, I care.
Which is sad. I feel bad for the New Day, because it's like they are the heels. They're getting the heel heat. We saw the heat on Raw.
Yeah.
But crowd couldn't care less.
Nope. And it was the wrong tag team match of the two titles.
Exactly. It's like, I was so frustrated when they set up TLC match between the Street Profits, DIY, and the Morrissey Machine Guns on SmackDown the night before. And that's not on the Mania card. That's going to be tomorrow night on SmackDown.
Right.
That match has been building for months.
I've been calling a ladder match between these teams.
That match should have been on Mania night 1 and not War Raiders versus New Day. That could have been saved for the Raw after Mania.
Yeah, they could have. And it'd been
It's
fine.
like, but I get it. It's like it's a New Day. They wanted to put. It's like it's their 13th title. I get that, and I love the New Day. I like what they're doing with the heel work. But that match was built literally at the last minute. It had no heat, whereas there's tons of heat from the fans between the Profits, DIY, and the Martin Street Machine Guns in their war over the tag titles the last couple months.
Yeah. And
so that match, as awesome as it's going to be, should not have been put on SmackDown tomorrow night. It should have been on Mania instead of this one. It's like that was a mistake.
That's what I'm saying. Like that was No, shout out to the New Day. I think they're like what?
Oh yeah, no, they're gonna. Those three teams, all 6 of those guys, they're gonna go balls to the walls with this TLC match tomorrow night on SmackDown.
Yeah. I think this is all we're gonna get from Jade.
Yeah, exactly. It's like there's a lot of stories that were started at Mania. So
I didn't mind the Cargill Naomi match, but
I thought that was fine.
Jade is just still just not.
She's got some moves. She did some moves I was pretty impressed by, but it's like she's not like
her timing and the
and
pacing
also
just suffers.
It's like she's not giving me enough character-wise to make me want to root for her. I'm more root for Naomi because her heel character work is just out of the fucking.
Oh, Naomi's killing it.
Fucking world.
Naomi's killing it.
But this is definitely not over. I mean, Jade Hinton is not over, and then with Bianca coming back to SmackDown, not win the title, she's going to get sucked back to it. And they teased that on the SmackDown before Mania last week, where it's like they, so that was it was perfectly fine.
Yeah. All right. So Jacob and LA Knight. Dude,
this surprised me. I didn't know if it's like I thought that Solo
this would be shenanigans or wasn't it?
I totally miscalled this, but I do not mind. This doesn't hurt LA Knight. LA Knight is still uber popular, but Jacob it's like with Jay. It's like you can't. The fans are like it's like even though he's a heel, it's like he's over, and it's like he's awesome. So they're like, okay, let's give him a title belt and let him run with it for a bit.
I will say this: that BFT from the Moonsault was awesome. It was so cool. And when Jacob kicked out, I was like, okay, then either shenanigans about to happen or Jacob's winning. You don't kick out of that situation.
That should have been. You would think if LA Knight was winning, that would have been the
thing. As soon as Jacob kicked out of that, I was like, okay, all right. So that's why it's like LA they didn't make LA look bad. It didn't job him or anything like that because he really had like a BFT out of nowhere, and Jacob still kicked out. It's like, all right, what can you do there? But I think it was the right call to give Jacob the belt. Again, that kicks off more story with the Tongans and Solo and all other stuff, and see how they go at it tomorrow.
I don't know if you saw the picture of the behind the scenes video that I shared on the Discord, but his like picture pose, I didn't realize that was a tribute to Umaga.
Oh, okay. I haven't watched the behind the scenes
like
video
this
yet.
With the title in his teeth. It's like that was a nod to Umaga.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
because
I haven't watched.
Umaga did that when he won the IC title.
Gotcha. Yeah, I haven't done it yet. All right, El Grande Americano and Rey Fenix.
I didn't think this was going to go very long because this was not the original match. This was supposed to be Rey Mysterio versus El Grande, but Rey Mysterio was put in the match for some reason on SmackDown, and lo and behold, he got hurt. He's got a partially torn groin.
Yeah, this is
and so, hey, great job though picking Rey Fenix to sub for him. So both Penta and Rey Fenix got to get their first Mania matches this year. So happy for both of them.
Yep.
This is exactly what it needed to be. Vikingo being at ringside made sense with because it's like, oh, we forgot about the AAA announcement. There's
a lot of stuff going. We'll probably cover the AAA stuff next week, guys. So we just have a lot to cover tonight.
That's a big deal. That's a big deal. We can go into more depth at that another time. But so he was there to help ringside. I like that. Already promoting the AAA with this whole new with the deal that they got in place. And he cheated to win. So it's like Rey Fenix lost. It's like El Grande cheated again. So it's like it doesn't hurt him. So
Yeah.
I'm perfectly fine with that.
Yeah.
It was probably he was gonna. I expected Ray to lose this match anyway, so it's like,
Yeah.
because El Grande, they need to keep this thing going.
Oh yeah, no, it's super over.
Oh man, I heard a bit of Conan's podcast today, and he's like he's already thinking about ideas of what to do with El Grande Americano if he's one of the people that WWE sends down to AAA as part of this.
They probably will.
Oh yeah, he's gonna get mega heat.
Yeah,
he's gonna get mega heat.
Yeah,
down there.
Yeah. And there was somebody one of the meet and greets or whatever. Someone was just like, "So Chad, what's it like? Missing WrestleMania again?" He just had this big shit-eating grin and just laughed about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Chad. Like
happy
Josh,
for Chad. Happy for Chad.
Happy for Chad, dude. He's well earned WrestleMania moments and stuff. I don't know. It took a weird gimmick to get there. You had it last year, but whatever.
And then it's train wreck time.
Yeah, just go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, Tiffany Charlotte. I was looking forward to this match last year because I thought that they could deliver a great match, and we were wrong. Now this wasn't like a bad match, but this was not.
It wasn't the banger we thought it was.
Good as it should have been.
No, you have two people who match styles and are very, very good in the ring, and it was a clusterfuck.
It was. I don't know if it's just because they just didn't have the right chemistry, or if Charlotte was doing sandbagging. I don't know, but I was watching and I'm just like, what is going on here? This is not good. And poor Tiffany get tooth chip, but even though the match was not great, it had the right outcome. Tiffany needed to win that match, and she did. And I was like, thank you, God.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if Charlotte had won, oh boy, the backlash would have been huge. It's like,
all right, and then
for the next PLA.
Yeah.
I'm just glad that Tiffany won. That was the right call. They just made a horrible mistake thinking that they could have Charlotte be the babyface against a heel Tiffany, and they had to completely pivot because the fans were like, "No, fuck you, Charlotte. We don't like you. We don't."
Right.
It's like,
but then Tiffany couldn't cut.
Tiffany to have to go babyface when she didn't even do a proper babyface turn.
No, she didn't do a proper babyface turn, and she was still cutting heel-esque promos.
Right.
And it wasn't until
she
they
was
had
supposed to have to go babyface.
Yeah, and that's why she said "fuck it." She brought up her divorces.
It's like the whole build was a mess. The match was a mess, but thankfully the right person won.
Yeah,
and we can move on for the time being.
All right, that main event. All right,
all right. Let's talk about the thing that saved this show, the main event.
Great entrances. Great match.
Seth Rollins, CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Paul Heyman.
Just amazing pace. Oh, just the finishers, and oh my God, I'm just getting goosebumps just of thinking about just the pacing and just how great this was put together and produced, and it didn't miss a beat. It flowed. Everything worked.
Yeah,
and even when the turn happened, even though we were like, that makes the most sense, we didn't think it would actually happen, and it did. And
I was expecting him to turn on Punk. I was not expecting him to turn on Roman.
Right. And he really twisted that arm.
He did. But also the interesting thing was like, but I thought it could happen, but I didn't think they would go there. Because like I said, the only two outcomes that make sense is that either he doesn't help Roman or Punk, and that allows Seth to win, or he screws them both over and helps Seth win. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. And
so it made it clear that this was not some like last minute thing.
No.
This Heyman working with Seth was put together not too long ago. It's like, this is not a last second thing. Because especially where Seth's like, didn't even look at Heyman and was like, give me the chair. Because he knew.
His like, even we'll get to the Raw after Mania, like Seth's, like he sat there, and I wish we had different angles of just Seth's face. He knew what Paul was getting ready to do, but he tempted Roman, right? So he already knew.
Because it's like he knew Roman couldn't resist. It's like, and that's how Heyman fooled him too. Like that whole sequence where he gets the chair. As soon as he grabbed the chair, I was like, okay, here we go.
Right.
And you have both Punk and Roman like, give it to me, help me. and he gives it to Punk. And I loved how the look of like Roman did such a great job of just like how it looked like looked like his like puppy had died, like. And then like the smile on his face when and Heyman low blows. Now the interesting thing is when he turned on Punk, he was remorseful. He was like, "Look what you made me do." He was upset. He was generally upset that he didn't. It was like, I don't like having to do this, but you left me no choice.
Mm-hmm.
When he turned on Roman, he enjoyed it.
Yeah, because
he especially that he really emphasized the ball shot.
Yeah. The
look on his face was anger,
and
that led into what he said on McAfee show that he turned on Punk because Punk put him in a no-win situation, and he didn't appreciate that. He was more upset at Roman for the way Roman has treated him for so long, and then the shove and everything. It was just he finally had enough.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm done with both of these guys.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins is now a Paul Heyman guy. And it's just like, I was like, I can't wait to see where this happens. And boy, it's like things got even more juicy on Raw with where things are going with. But that was just so well done. The match, everything that happened, absolutely fantastic.
The one spot
saved a very meh show into being okay. That was great. Overall, that was a decent night.
Yeah,
like there were some other matches that were good. Like Jake Gunther was good, and LA Knight, Jacob, but there was a lot of other meh on that show. And so that was fantastic. I was just like, phew. All right. Then we go to night 2.
All right. One last thing I will say about that. The spot that I still go back and look at is the Punk had the GTS spear. And then Seth gets up just enough strength to
stop and then
just falls and they just sit there. And I was like,
that was well done.
This is those little things that like you hear about, like letting it breathe a little bit.
Yeah.
And they were letting it breathe and was building tension by letting it breathe, and just how you can. Pacing is an art form when it comes to wrestling, and when you hit it, it's Picasso type of stuff. So yeah, well done, Seth mocking Roman with the hand out.
Yeah,
for the chair. Obviously, he did it for the microphone, but the chair doing that. So great stuff there. Yes, and night 2, we will get to that here.
Yeah, we're about to get to that, but yeah, it was a lot better minus Cena versus Cody. So it was a lot better.
Yeah. So night 2, EO defeated Rhea and Bianca in a triple threat match to retain the women's world championship match by pinning Belair. Drew McIntyre defeated Damian Priest in a Sin City street fight. Dominic Mysterio defeated Braun Breaker, Penta, and Finn Balor in a fatal 4-way match to win the WWE Intercontinental Championship by pinning Finn. Randy Orton defeated Joe Hendry. Hold on. Wait, just making sure. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Defeated Joe Hendry, and I freaking popped so hard for that one. And
I was thinking of you when that happened.
Well, anyway, going through the rundown here. And then Logan Paul defeated AJ Styles after AJ refused Cross, giving him brass knucks to cheat. Becky Lynch and Lyra defeated the Judgment Day of Liv Morgan and Raquel for 4 hours to win the WWE
about
24 about 24. Okay, I'll give him 24. And then the main event, John Cena did defeat Cody Rhodes to win the WWE Championship with the help of Travis Scott, not The Rock, in the most anticlimactic 17th World Championship to pass Ric Flair. And that's another thing that pissed me off. This should have been a huge monumental moment, and you build it up, and the person you were expecting to be there wasn't there, and the person that did show up, we didn't give a fuck about.
Right.
And the end of the match was kind of blah, and we're like, okay, he won the 17th, and I just don't care.
Cody looked good. It was a mess. That the whole thing was just an absolute mess.
Okay,
we'll say that.
We'll say that last. All right.
Yeah,
this is the best triple threat women's match I've ever seen.
This could go down as one of the best opening matches in Mania history ever. Like up there with like Bret Owen. Like it's that fucking good.
Yeah. Now I will say the triple threat between Sasha, Becky, and Charlotte one year at Wrestlemania.
That was like that was many years ago.
Many years ago, but that was really good. But this one, good God, these
yeah, that was in that was in their top 50 matches. Their own top 50 matches ranking. that they put up on YouTube. This match delivered the goods as I knew it could with these three women who were three of the best women's wrestlers on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
They went out there and they had a fucking banger. Just some of the stuff where like, I like that this was more of like someone hit a finisher, but someone else was there to break up the pin before they could get the pin attempt. That sequence where Rhea did the super riptide on Io and she bounced up to her feet, and then Bianca grabbed Io and then did a KOD on her, tried to steal the pin, and Rhea broke it up at the last possible second. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh,
the finish was great.
I'm sorry. It was Io did the moonsault. Rhea put the knees up, and Bianca was right there to KOD her, and then Rhea had to bring up to that whole sequence was dope.
Right. And then the finish was chef's kiss work of art of putting Rio, and I was like, wait, Rio's still on the turnbuckle. Rio's still on the turnbuckle.
Bianca KOD'd Rhea, but Io moonsaulted them both and then pinned Bianca to retain.
Yeah.
So Bianca's winning streak at Mania is snapped.
That was kind of quick, but
it makes sense because she's not a Raw regular. She's on SmackDown. Yeah. So it made sense for her to take the pin because then Io and Rhea has still got legs. And we saw it's like that whole feud is between Io and Rhea is not done yet. So It made perfect sense for Bianca to take the pin. It was the right move. They've treated Io like the afterthought, both Rhea and Bianca, because they were all about, finally clashing and having issues with each other. And she was like basically being completely ignored and disrespected. So it was the right move to have her get this big win over both of them at Mania. It was the right call. The match was banger. One of the best matches of both nights.
Yeah. And you know what you followed banger with? Another banger.
Another banger.
By Drew Mac, which we kind of called too. We were like, this could be really good.
Yeah, this as a Drew fan, this made me so happy. This match.
Yeah, I was just smiling ear to ear. Thinking of you, you're just like, this is my boy. This is my boy. He's just he can make lemonade out of shit.
The whole selfie tweet was fantastic.
Yeah. And Damian, I mean, this you found the chemistry's finally there for these two because they did their thing.
Yeah.
So
they killed it, and Drew winning was the right call. He needed this win more than Damian.
Yeah.
So awesome stuff. It's like, and then we got into the Fatal 4-Way, and it was another banger. It's like the first three matches were just like off the hook.
Yeah.
The kickoff. That's why I was just like, I mean, if this keeps up, man, night two is like night. It's like at that point, I was like, night two has blown night one out of the water at this point already because we're not even done yet.
Go back to our preview show because I'm going to definitely go back to the preview show here in a second of who showed up. But as far as predictions, but we all three were like, I think Josh was like, the Fatal 4-Way is going to be amazing. And then you were like, the Triple Threat's going to be amazing. And I was like, that Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest is
we're all correct.
And I was like, wow, we're 3 for 3. How can we get better?
And we were all correct.
Even the finish of the main event where we're like, this is gonna suck.
We called this, and it is like Dom won, and he pinned Finn to do it on top of it.
Yep. And Dom was just, and we got up the ramp, and Finn and Dom was
like, fuck it. It's like the fans were like happy for him.
It's Dom, man. At this point, he owns it, and
I mean, he went back for a curtain call.
Yeah, he went back for a curtain call,
which was an audible. That was like apparently it's like people like right away were like, that was definitely an audible.
Yeah. And guess what? Finn was just like, what the fuck are you doing? Like as he ran by him. But yeah, no, that match delivered. The right person won. I can't believe going back. I think Aaron Turner, like the whole time, was like just sitting there like this, being like, I told you all. Yeah. Dominic Mysterio. Because he went from the cookie cutter, dumb baby face bullcrap that we don't like, Nepo baby, to the biggest heat magnet.
Get out of the building, we don't like you heat.
Yeah, biggest heat magnet ever to, all right, you've earned this now. I think he is.
Clarify that, GSC. What do you feel?
Is he not believable as a face? Not believable as a heel, or just not believable as an Intercontinental Champion? Because he's definitely believable.
Yeah, it's like
he's definitely believable as Intercontinental Champion. He had a good run with the NXT North American Championship.
Yeah,
too.
And he didn't. That wasn't a very long one. It's like it's gonna be very to see how long of a run he's gonna have with his title before he loses it.
Right. And how long the Judgment Day stuff's gonna
But
last.
it's a big thing that is showing the kind of faith they have in Dominic at this point that they put in one of the most important like mid card titles on him.
He does, but he has a momentum behind him. Sometimes
plus he's got the judge. Plus, now he's got the Judgment Day to help him cheat to win like a mofo.
And plus, because if it was a 1-on-1 match, maybe I can give you that. But the Fatal 4-Way, you can come in and sneak in a win like he did.
And also that spot where Braun jumped off the main announce desk and speared Carlito through the other was just absolutely bonkers. I literally went like,
Braun is
amazing.
Braun and Jacob are like the biggest, just strap the rocket to them. I don't care of the newcomers that they've had that they brought in. Even though Braun's been around for a while, I'm just saying like main roster wise. Obviously, Jacob went straight to the main roster from MLW.
I get where DSG's coming. It's like Radama's not like he's not the most tactical wrestler, but he's good enough, and he gets the heat. So that's important.
He gets crowd reaction. He sells merch, and he's decent enough, and he is a decent worker.
Braun, I was like, because I'm like, Phil Braun was ready to move up, and oh boy, did he get an upgrade?
Yeah, he did. We all had fun. All right, Randy Orton defeated. I called it. I said, guys, just go with me here. It's a long shot, but it could be.
You said, during the preview show, you said Joe Hendry was a possible option to answer the open challenge.
And Josh was just like, no. I was like, hey, he's in Vegas. It wouldn't surprise me.
I said I said, it's very possible. I just didn't think they'd do it, but I was literally like, I was like so excited. I was like, yes.
Yeah, and I mean,
I was so happy for him, and he had the shirt ready too.
Yeah. And he said that because he was on. Obviously, I posted on our Discord, but he was on Ari. He was interviewing with Ari yesterday. That dropped. Yeah. I think it was Ari.
He was on Hawani's show, and he asked him like, when did they come together? And he said, the week before Mania, Triple H called him and was like, I'm sure you heard that Randy needs a partner. And as soon as he said that, he knew exactly what Triple H wanted from him.
Yeah.
And he's like, hell yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah. And you can tell if you go back and watch his entrance when he finally gets to the ring, and it kind of, you can tell once he finally, I think that's when it finally hit him, and you can kind of tell he got a little misty. About. I mean, he's been in the Indies like his whole career. The only time
he got a WrestleMania moment. Like I know, and I understand people. There's a lot of people that were like not thrilled that he lost, but it's like, look, Randy doing this. There's no way Randy's going to win, and it's like because we said. And we correctly predicted he's going to be going after whoever walks out with the WWE title at Backlash because Backlash is in St. Louis, his hometown. So Randy's going to be going for that. He's not going to lose at Mania. And it's like it wasn't a squash. It wasn't a very long match, but he got his stuff in. He got the turnaround,
RKO,
the smile into the RKO out of nowhere. That's probably the second best RKO spot in Mania history after countering Seth's stomp with an RKO, which is probably going to be numero uno.
And shout out to the camera.
That RKO counter out of nowhere on Seth I don't think that's ever going to be top. This is probably the second best because the way that they shot it was just perfect. I laughed so hard. I was like, there it is.
Yeah. And shout out to the camera work because it zoomed in hard on his face so it could hide Randy coming in to really highlight the RKO out of nowhere. I wouldn't mind that gif.
No, I wouldn't mind it either. It's like, but this is a great. It's like, and like he tweeted right after he was done. He went to the back. He tweeted out, "I just got to wrestle Randy Orton at WrestleMania."
Yeah,
Joe gets it.
And then, and plus,
he got to appear. He got to appear on Mania for the first time ever, and he got to have a moment that is going to be it's going to be a memorable moment. That RKO spot is going to be replayed for years to come.
Yeah, and I don't think when we were bringing up Joe,
the fans went bonkers.
And Randy,
of the night.
Yeah, and if there's an alternate video because I know it went back to Randy and he was kind of just like nodding his head to it.
Yeah, and you could tell Randy was having fun working for him. I thought
his turnaround too.
He did the spin around, but doing his pose instead was
because that's him giving the tip of the cap to him, like, all right, you earned this, kid. You're good. Like that you give a tip, and like when he patted him on the chest, it's like that's more of Randy. That's Randy's version of putting over Joe, because Randy's not going to go over. But that's him putting him. And the fact that they
like if he had lost in like if he had gotten RKO'd within like 10 seconds of the match, that would have been awful. It's like, but no, they wrestled for a few minutes. They had the memorable RKO spot, and that's it. That's all. Yeah. It's like
all the reactions that I've seen where everyone was just so happy for, and I didn't realize how over he was. I know.
They could totally run this back at another time. Him versus Randy. It's right.
But you have not just some random wrestler, not just like, people are like, oh, Rusev or Aleister Black or all this stuff. Nah, the TNA World Heavyweight Champion Joe Hendry, who knows that people know who he is. Right, like we know.
Plus, Cole plugged their Rebellion pay-per-view, which is this weekend when he was coming out.
Yeah, so it sucks that KO got injured.
Well, TNA got a plug on WrestleMania for the pay-per-view that's on the following week.
Yeah,
so it's like
this was the best pivot from an injury they had on WrestleMania.
this was
perfect.
What created as much as it sucked that we lost KO versus Randy because of KO's injury, and it sucks for KO. This was a fantastic move to make up for it and created a memorable WrestleMania moment that is going to be talked about and replayed for a long time, and a great moment for Joe.
Yeah,
I'm happy for him. It's like he got to have a Mania moment, and he also talked about how like after he got to the back, John Cena came to him and said, "It's like." You nailed it.
Yeah, because Joe did say, I think during the interview, he even said that he talked to John and CM Punk prior to the Royal Rumble, and they just said, just be in the moment. Don't try and overdo things. Just be in the moment, do your thing.
Because that way you're trying to be. It makes it obvious you're trying to draw attention to yourself, and therefore you're being selfish. You're trying to put yourself over.
Yeah,
and it's like too much.
Yeah, don't do too much. And
that's why it's like, and that's why he said when Cena and he got into the back after the match was over, Cena came up to him and was like, you nailed it.
Yeah, because it's a very, very small percentage of people that were like, oh, you just squashed the TNA World Champion. I'm like, it's freaking Randy Orton. Like, what?
Yeah, it's like you think Randy was going to lose this open challenge. It's like
no.
It's like plus it's like he's being built up for a title match in the next pay-per-view. So
but here's the best part.
Also, Cena put him over on Pat McAfee on Monday as well.
Yeah,
saying that he's got a great future.
Yeah, and if you didn't think Joe was the winner of this whole thing, what are we talking about? Joe. We're not talking about Randy because we're like, all right, fine.
I was talking about like that Joe Hendry got to wrestle at WrestleMania and.
He killed it.
He and Randy created one of the most memorable RKO out of nowhere spots ever.
Yeah, and then Randy did his little thing,
so,
it was awesome.
Great.
Yes, I know I took a little bit long, but it's Joe Hendry. I've been behind the guy since I realized he was a thing.
Was very happy for him.
Very happy. All right, Logan and AJ. I'm glad Karrion got there, and then he cut a huge ass promo after. I think,
did you notice the pop that he got?
Karrion?
Yeah.
Karrion's on a heater right now. Like, it's a different level.
Between what he's been doing and that, like, half shoot, half worked promo on the Night One after show that he did.
Yep.
He's getting over.
Yep. And
it's working.
And he popped, and when he came on a Raw after Mania.
That promo, I was like, that's one hell of a worked shoot promo, man, because it felt real.
Yeah, because
even some of the stuff he was bitching about, I was like, oh man, if I didn't know any better, I would think this was a complete shoot. But I know it's like he would not do this without Triple H.
No.
Is okay.
No, and you can see Scarlett going from in character to kind of worrisome. Like,
yeah, she probably did a great job selling that he was like actually shooting.
Because she was like Kevin, like she like tapped him on the shoulder, like arm was like, Kevin, stop.
Yeah, she sold it great. That it was that it added to like that. Is this really a shoot? Is he actually shooting? But the match was that. Also, when he got eliminated from the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, it's like the fans were not happy.
No.
So it's like he's getting over.
Yeah,
it's like it's working.
Yeah, and Triple H is big behind Karrion. He would have brought him back and kept.
By the way, congrats to Mello his money for winning the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Remember, I know people are like, oh, he won a Battle Royal. What's the big deal? Remember, Bronson Reed won the Battle Royal last year, and look what happened to him last year. The push he got last year after he won the Battle Royal. So hopefully this is a sign that Melo's going to finally get the right kind of push this year.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I am kind of like with Triple H's booking. He puts emphasis on that win, at least what he did for Bronson. He put emphasis on it. So hopefully, because it feels like Melo is still just waiting in the water, and I need
waiting for the right thing to do with him. But anyway, this match was I was disappointed. This was not.
I was expecting more. Like I said, we're talking more about Karrion Kross than the match itself.
Also, this match didn't have enough heat because it wasn't that much of a build. It was basically Logan challenged AJ to a match and he accepted, and that was pretty much it. The only interesting thing was Karrion Kross trying to get AJ to go heel to win the match.
Yeah,
and that storyline isn't done with either. So it was like it was all right. It was an okay match. That was disappointing me because I thought it would be better. With who was involved.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna let you talk about this tag team because your girl's back.
Okay.
But I have some thoughts outside of the match itself.
There's good and bad, and I'm fully gonna admit this. And it's like everyone who watches the show regularly knows that I love Becky Lynch. As I've said many times, it's like I stopped watching wrestling for years. She was the number one reason I came back to watch wrestling again. And so it's like I love Becky very much. I'm one of her biggest fans. And I'm very happy that she's back. It created a big moment. When as soon as her music hit, you could hear it. The crowd went nuts.
Mm-hmm.
They were happy that she came back.
Mm-hmm.
Big moment for her return. And also big moment for Lyra winning the tag titles, becoming a double champ at Mania, having a moment with one of her idols, Bayley being one of the other ones. It is what it is. It's like as soon as Bayley got written out, I was like, that means that she's going to have Becky take Bayley's place. And that's how Becky's coming back. And that's exactly what happened. What happened on Raw, I thought was going to happen maybe a little bit later. Not this quickly, because I had a feeling. But the downside to this is Bayley being taken out of this match and not having a match on Mania. That is not cool. And I do not like that at all. I feel bad for her. Now, apparently, this was in the works for quite a while. This was not like a last-minute thing. From what Sean Ross Brothers has said, that they've had this planned out for weeks. It's like that it was apparently this. They worked this out with Becky about how to return her, and this is what they came up with. I just wish that they maybe had they picked someone else besides Bayley to be in that spot so that she could have had something on Mania. Because it definitely feels like this came up a couple of weeks ago because we saw it looked like we had a clear path for Bayley where maybe she wasn't going to be on Mania, but maybe she was going to be on Stand and Deliver and taking on Roxanne because that feud felt like it was leading somewhere. And then all of a sudden it was dropped. And then all of a sudden the stuff with Lyra started. So I think right around that time is when this plan to have Becky come back and this whole thing came into place. And so they completely shuffled stuff around. And sucks for Roxanne, sucks for Bayley. So as happy as I am that Becky is back, and I'm looking forward to what's going to be happening, especially after what happened on Raw. It's the booking decision could have been, I think that things could have been done better for her. And it's unfortunate. It's like I feel bad.
I think it's a crime for what they did to Bayley. She is probably the top worker, mic skill.
Yeah, it's not fair to her.
And you are making her a pawn from going to have. By the way, Io's had two of arguably the best matches in WrestleMania back to back. By the way, I just want to point that.
Yeah, her match with Bayley last year was fantastic.
Yeah, it was amazing, and Bayley had
the match she had with Rhea and Bianca this year was even better than that.
Yeah,
so it's like,
but you are just not. I don't think they're appreciating what they have in Bayley and her interview with Chris Van Fleet. Which was filmed beforehand.
That made me feel like I was like after I watched it, I was just like, oh my god!
And you can just feel that's. I
got even more bothered by this whole situation.
Yeah, because you can just tell she's so frustrated. She when she would look up, you could tell she was holding back tears. because she's just like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Like, and she's like, I'm Bailey. Like, she finally just said it. She's like, I'm Bailey. Like, what are we doing?
Because he asked her, he's like, do you feel like, you're not as respected compared to like, the other horsewomen? And it's very apparent that that's the case.
Yeah, and then everyone was calling her. And now, that being said, internet, don't call her Becky Hogan. You know how many times she's put?
Yeah, no,
over?
It's like that pissed me off. It's like she's always been very tight with Bailey. So it's like, this is not a Charlotte situation where Charlotte has clearly sandbagged people on purpose, and you've seen it on TV.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we don't know who came up with this whole plan. It's like, obviously, it's like they've been trying to figure out how to bring Becky back for a while because we know she resigned. She's been advertised on the Raw. It's like we knew she was going to come back eventually. Figured it would be Mania, and they wanted. I think they ended up doing this way because they wanted to really be a surprise to the casual fans. It's like, but Becky has put people over in the ring.
Yeah.
She put Lyra over previously. Lyra won the NXT Championship from Becky. Becky took it from Tiffany, had it for a little bit, and then she put Lyra over, and Lyra got to run with it before Roxanne took it from her last year.
Yeah, she put Lyra over. She put
Becky's
Liv over.
Do you remember the whole feud with Bianca Belair?
Mm-hmm.
As sucky as that started out with her beating Bianca.
Apparently, that was a Vince decision to squash. She didn't want to do it.
People off. That feud ended up being great for Bianca, and they had banger matches, and she put Bianca over more than once.
Mm-hmm.
Like she lost 2 big pay-per-views in a row. She lost to Bianca. She put Bianca over at Mania, let her win the title back, and then the rematch at SummerSlam, Bianca beat her again.
Yeah, she put Liv over. I know she was going to take a break, and
she
brought
put
her
Liv
back
over before she left.
Yeah, I mean, I know that they brought her back quickly just so they can have Liv go over someone, but Becky still agreed to it, guys. She didn't have to come back and win the title just to drop it to Liv because Rhea was hurt. She said, "Okay, that's fine. I'll put her over," because she was going to take a break anyway. But
questionable some of that stuff, like her beating Bianca that quickly, as bad as that looked, it ended up working out fine for Bianca in the long run, and she put Bianca over multiple times.
And apparently that was a Vince decision. Which anytime something bad happens and they go back to it,
we've seen Charlotte sabotage people in the ring. Remember the Nia Jax match?
Oh yeah,
ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Her beating Rhea at Mania 36 was bullshit.
Yeah.
Now, to Charlotte's credit, she put Rhea over like gangbusters at 39 2 years ago.
Did.
And they had a fucking one of the best women's matches in Mania history.
And that's the last favor she'll ever do. Feels like it's the last favor.
That was Charlotte making up for going over Rhea. It's like 3 years prior, which shouldn't have happened. That was it. It pissed me off back then. But Becky has a more clear history of putting people over than Charlotte. She is not like Charlotte. She's not like Hogan. So this Becky Hogan stuff, it's like pissed me off. It's like,
I want to touch on that just so we can both basically clearly. I'm like, you're grasping at straws just because she did that.
I still agree that Bailey got shafted horribly by this booking choice.
Yeah, I understand if it's like a mid.
It's not fair to her.
I don't understand if it's like you were saying. If it was another female wrestler that was, like maybe a Kairi Sane or something. I don't like it that they did it this way. But
you could have put Natty in that spot, then that would have worked out.
You could have done other females like Mia Yim or something, and then she gets hurt, and then it's like, oh, Becky's coming back, and the pop would have been louder. But the fact that you just decided like, oh, we're gonna put Bailey in here. Actually, we don't, and then just take her aside and just use her as fodder. I found it very, very bad. All right.
Despite that, I thought the whole thing played out was a great Mania moment, great return for her. The fans are happy to see her. Great moment for Lyra. But obviously, this is part of a bigger storyline as we saw on Raw.
Yeah. All right. So, the main event.
All right.
Cody had a cool mask.
Yeah. So let's just get to this. So while I was watching this match, I was like, you know what, John Roca might be right. It looks like Cena's washed. Either this was done on purpose or he really is washed because he was moving at such a
So
slow pace that
slow.
Cody had to slow down in order to try to carry this match. It was very obvious.
Yep.
That was just like, and then, but the match wasn't completely horrible. It was fine, but then we got to the finish. No Rock. Instead of the Rock, Travis fucking Scott comes out and helps Cena cheat the win.
With a dumb fake title that still pisses me off. No one cares.
And Cody hesitating to hit Cena with the title belt, allowing him to low blow him again, hit him with the title, and then make Cody look. That made Cody look. It's like he didn't hesitate to try to murder KO at the Royal Rumble in that ladder match, and he was closer to KO than he is with Cena.
Or even after AJ quit, he still threw the steel steps at him. So I don't.
The whole booking was a complete mess. I knew Cena was going to. It's like it was very clear that this was set up to Cena win, and and we all said we were fine with that because it creates a lot of interesting possibilities. Because now the drama's going to be like, which babyface is going to get the title back from him before he retires at the end of the year? Because that's the whole storyline. Because he's like he did exactly what I thought he would. He's not wrong. He's like, I got the title now, and no one's going to be able to take it from me. And when I retire, I'm taking it with me as an FU. So bye bye. So joy won't last. The Rock not showing up completely. Rock not being a part of this completely fucked the whole thing up. And I agree with everyone ranting about because like that whole thing was built up to we expected Rock to be involved, and he's not involved at all. And he was barely even mentioned during the build-up, except for like the final face-off where he brought up about like the Rock. It's like she didn't even mention that he sold his soul to the Rock or why. It's like it was completely effing ignored.
Yeah.
And so instead of excuse me. Instead of The Rock coming out to help him cheat the win, which a lot of people were expecting, we got Travis fucking Scott. And Travis Scott took fucking forever to get to the ring. Oh my God, he was acting like he was having a Roman Reigns entrance. It fucking pissed me off.
Yeah, he's
I didn't think I was gonna like
And then The Rock has to do, because so many people were pissed about it.
Oh, he went on the Pat McAfee show on Tuesday to do damage control.
He had to do damage control, and boy, did he just add fuel to the fire. Because he was saying that, I told them you didn't need The Rock, and then why the fuck were you up there?
Oh, the reason I came to Elimination Chamber was because Ari
low ticket sales, really low ticket sales.
Rock to help boost ticket sales, motherfucker. The reason why the ticket sales were probably sold is because those tickets are so fucking expensive.
Yeah. Why don't you? It's like that's probably why they're low, is because people are like, if I'm going to spend all this hard-earned money. So I'm like, okay. So then,
God.
So you put Triple H in a spot. I'm gonna defend a little bit of Triple H here because I think they put Triple H in the spot. Because
people were bitching about like Triple H completely fucked everything up. No, The Rock put him in a no-win position, and he tried to make chicken salad chicken shit, and it's like it didn't completely work.
No, because The Rock apparently kept wanting Cody to go heel, and Triple H's like, no, I'm not making Cody go heel.
Yeah, and he talked about it. He goes, I wanted Cody to go heel. Like Triple H and them said no, so I came up with this other idea. So obviously Rock didn't get his way again, and he was just like, okay, well, I did my part, and now you don't need me. Peace out. And it completely fucked everything up.
Yeah, because
it makes Triple H look bad. And so people are, there's a lot of conspiracy theories going around that it's like Rock is doing this on purpose to fuck with Triple H.
Yeah, I mean, he showed up to Bad Blood,
but in this instance, he really did. He really fucked things up for Triple H. Creatively.
Yeah. That's just kind of where I'm at. I was like, I think Ari called The Rock, and The Rock was like, I guess I'll show up. Maybe we can do, X, Y, and
so
Z.
Means everything with the Bad Blood that was not leading anywhere.
Yeah, that's not going anywhere.
Because especially with the whole stuff, the way he was acting on that, it's like that whole selling the soul thing that was brought up after all that happened. That was not planned out long before.
No. So yeah, that just stinks for Cody.
I just feel bad for Cena passing Ric Flair with world title win number 17. Yes, it's in the history books, but it's not going to be as well remembered because of the complete shit show finish to this match.
And
that's all people are going to remember.
And honestly, Cena and Cody tried for what they have, but they were put into a corner because The Rock wasn't ever going to be involved. And so they're like, all right, The Rock's going to come out, Cena, you're going to go heel, and we're all going to pop for it because we're going to anticipate how this story is going to go. And then nothing happened. It was the same promos for all those weeks. And the only good thing we got out of it was at least John Cena came out with just John Cena in black and white.
Booking, like, what would work better is if Rock hadn't done the whole soul thing until just before Mania and not Elimination Chamber. You had babyface build up, which still would have been fine, but have Cena do the heel turn at Mania.
Yeah, apparently they were deliberating that whether to do it at Mania or Elimination Chamber or something, and
they should have done it at Mania because that would have worked so much better than what we got.
Because at first I was like, yeah, do it at Elimination Chamber. You have all this build up, and then if we knew that The Rock was just out there for butts to sell expensive tickets, and come up with some bullshit thing just because Triple H was not going to have Cody go heel, which you shouldn't.
No,
it's not time yet.
No, it's not the time yet. Despite it's really weird how I think it's because there's certain people who hate Cody. They just want him seen the heel because they don't like him as a babyface, and it's like no, dude, he's one of your top merch sellers, cash cows right now. He's not going to go heel.
No.
Eventually, he's going to do a heel turn.
Oh yeah.
But now's not the time.
No, and his heel run's going to be epic, but it's not the time. All right, so that is WrestleMania.
So night 2 was absolutely fantastic with a main event. So
honestly, I can't. For as much shit as we give AEW, this is exactly the night 2 was like their last the other pay-per-view.
This was it's like I don't know if this was as bad as some of the last 2 pay-per-view title match finishes that AEW's had, but it was not good.
No.
So
because it was like you had a great night and then that happened.
So overall, combining both nights together, overall, I'd still say this was a decent to good Mania. I'd be generous and give it like a B-. But some of the crappy builds hurt a lot of matches that were completely heatless. And the booking to close out Cena Cody was a mess. But on the other hand, you had a lot some great matches here on both nights. Both the big triple threat matches were the 2 best matches of both nights, and those 2 triple threat matches delivered the goods. So I'd still say overall it was a decent WrestleMania, but it could have been so much better.
Yeah, it's like a three-quarter star.
Compared to last year, this was definitely a disappointment.
Yeah, but like I said, you weren't gonna top last year.
No, it's hard to top a Mania like last year's when
those last 5 minutes of Mania. Last 5 minutes of Mania, we still go back and watch. All right. Yeah. So speaking about actually being one of the best they've ever done.
So, but just when it's like people are like, people joke like Triple H must have woke up and heard people complaining about the problems at Mania and went, okay, watch this. And oh my God.
Yeah.
What a fucking Monday Night Raw after Mania. Holy shit.
Yep. So John Cena opens the show cutting a promo saying no one is going to beat him for the WWE title before he retires and will take it with him. But Randy Orton slithers into the ring, snakes attacks with RKO and poses with the title to set up a title match at Backlash. If you watched Ruckus Wrestling last week, we pretty much called that. Liv and Raquel regain. Speaking about 50-50 booking, Liv and Raquel regain the women's titles from Becky and Lyra, but Becky turns on Lyra after the match.
Heel turn.
So within 24 hours, she returns, wins the titles, loses the titles, and turns heel. The New Day cut a promo celebrating their tag team win, but are interrupted by Alpha Academy, challenging them to a match. After it's granted, Rusev makes his return and lays out Alpha Academy. And that doesn't happen. Women's World Champion Io Sky cuts a promo celebrating her win at Mania. NXT Women's Champion Stephanie Kerr comes out to give congrats and issues a challenge for a non-title champion versus champion match. Io accepts. Adam Pearce makes it official. The match ends with a DQ. When Roxanne Perez and Julia attack them both, Rhea Ripley makes the save and has a stare down with Julia before giving Io title back, making it clear she is coming. She's still coming for it. It's like me and you like fantasy book that whole segment. Jey Uso celebrates becoming World Heavyweight Champion with the fans. Sami Zayn returns to join in along with Jimmy Uso, which I think should have been the celebration last week. But, I mean, at Mania, but whatever. Karrion Kross and AJ Styles argue over AJ losing to Logan Paul at Mania because he didn't cheat like Kross wanted him to. AJ tells him he's not going to stoop to cheating and told Kross to take care of Logan himself.
And then Kross said, maybe I will.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Gunther comes out pissed at the announce team for their support of Jey Uso. He attacks them and puts Cole in a sleeper and then chokes Pat out after he saves Cole. Pat is taken to the back to be checked out, and Joe Tessitore replaces him, and somehow or another John Roca was smiling. Dominic Mysterio retains the IC title against Penta, thanks to interference from a returning JD McDonough. Despite JD's return, Finn doesn't look happy as they celebrate the win. Main event segment, Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman come out. Seth starts to brag about taking Heyman away from Punk and Roman and beating them in the main event, but CM Punk comes out to attack. He goes after Heyman, but that allows Seth to recover and lay out Punk with a stomp. Heyman cuts a promo as the credits and copyright logo appear, but the show isn't over. Nope. And Roman Reigns comes out after them. He spears Seth and hits a Superman punch on Heyman. Roman goes to spear Heyman, but is intercepted by a spear from Braun Breaker. He spears Punk and as Seth smiles and hugs him, revealing he's joined forces with them. Braun spears Roman through the barricade, then takes him back into the ring and holds him for Seth to trash talk, then stomps both Punk and Roman back to back. The new faction of Seth, Braun, and Heyman stand tall over Punk and Roman to close out the show. Dear God, did they unload on this one?
Holy fuck, this show. Oh my God. This, not only was this definitely, without hands down, was the best Raw so far this year. This is one of the best Raw after Manias we've had in years.
Years.
Like, this is the best Raw after Mania since I started watching again back in 2019.
Yeah, I mean,
and we've seen some bad ones, especially like, remember the Raw after Mania after 39 that Vince I had his hands all over with, and it was a complete shit show.
It's a clusterfuck.
Oh my God! It was like basically it was Triple H. It's like, oh, okay, you guys all bitching. Here, I'm gonna go in the kitchen. I'm gonna cook you a fucking 5-star masterpiece meal. Watch this. Holy shit! So much happened on this show.
All right, TKO,
we got
Netflix.
The second heel turn. We had Rusev return, Sammy return, JD McDonough return.
Roxanne and Julia.
The whole women's segment,
Stephanie,
like you said, it was like you and I fantasy booked that shit.
Yeah,
I was just like, as soon as Stephanie, I literally went. And it's like I was over at my friends watching it, and it's like when Stephanie's music hit, I literally went, "Holy shit, it's Stephanie Becker."
Yeah, because I was like, "Wait a minute, that's Stephanie."
And then I was like, "Oh, we're getting Stephanie versus you." And then the Prodigy. I was like thinking,
and then Rhea and Julia had a stare down.
The tease. Look, for those who don't know, Julia has spoken about how much she loves and admires Rhea Ripley, and has said that one of her dream matches is Rhea. She really wants her and Rhea to go one-on-one, and they fucking teased that in this whole segment. Like, I was like, oh, I gotta check my arm. Am I getting goosebumps?
And Julia, just the way she just stood there and really didn't go like Roxanne just jumping on Rhea like a spider monkey was hilarious.
Well, that's what Roxanne. Yeah,
that's what Roxanne does. But the fact that we still got Roxanne on Raw, that's like, just okay. All right, you were about to piss me off, and we'll get into the Stand and Deliver stuff, and then what they followed up with NXT. I was trying to get some other things, but whatever. The fact that Roxanne was on Raw, okay, you got me. I'm good.
This was Triple H basically showing you a preview of how who he views as the future of the women's division. Like, Rhea and Io are already up there, but he made it clear that Roxanne, Julia, and Stephanie Becker are right there with Io and Rhea as far as this is this is our women's division going forward into the future, and it's an awesome future.
The problem is HBK is going to have a hard time holding on to Stephanie, because Stephanie, every time she appears, is over.
Yeah,
it's a different tier.
Is that, like, we don't know how much of like the mainstream fans that go to Raw and SmackDown watch NXT. Some of them obviously do,
right?
People are definitely aware of Stephanie because she got a great reaction at the Rumble when she came out.
Yeah,
and they knew who she was she got quite the pop when she came out, and they were chanting La Primera when she was in the ring talking with Io.
Yeah,
so she's already over with the main roster fans, and she ain't done with NXT yet. So it's like, I feel bad for HBK. He's gonna be like, oh man, I don't know how much longer we're gonna be able to keep. Because obviously Roxanne is like halfway out the door at this point anyway. It's only a matter of time before she's officially, made official that she's been moved up to the main roster. It's almost a done. It's almost a done deal at this point. Just have to wait for Adam Pearce to be like, "Welcome to Monday Night Raw, Roxanne Perez." It's like, but like the way things are going with Stephanie and Julia, it's like, and plus you got Jordan Grace down there. It's like, I don't know how long you're going to be able to keep Jordan Grace down there either. It's like. But we'll talk about that when we get to NXT and Stand Alert. But
it was like, as soon as I saw it, I'm like,
and also, you know what it felt like? Because the scuttlebutt is that they're finally going to do Evolution 2. This felt like a tease for Evolution 2, with all 5 of these women all being in the ring at the same time and interacting with each other. Yeah. I was like, that was so wonderful.
Yeah, like I said, I was like, as soon as Stephanie came out, I'm like, oh, Justin, you get Io and Stephanie, okay, cool. And then Roxanne and Julia come out, and I'm like, wait a minute, have they been watching our show?
I'm like, oh my god, Josh is probably going nuts right now. It's like
Roxanne, oh, they're doing it, okay, cool. And then Julia came out, and I'm like, then Justin was like, oh my god, Julia's there. And, oh shit, okay.
Yeah, I was literally going nuts because I was like, Roxanne made sense because I was like, well, someone's going to interfere because there's no way that Io or Stephanie is going to get pinned here.
No,
someone is going to fuck this match up and cause a disqualification. And I was like, oh, there it is. It's the Prodigy. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But then Julia showed up and I literally went like, holy shit, Julia's here too.
Yeah. Yes. I guess it's just very ripped.
He's very
ripped.
He's very
cut. He's cut. There's gain. There's adding pounds. Like you basically you bulk up and then you cut. This is him cutting.
I like his opening promo was fine. I love that when he turned around and saw Randy right before the RKO, you could hear him say "shit."
Yeah, and the slither in and the production of the shot was perfectly angled. Also, there's a behind the scenes video of how Randy got in the ring. He was part of the ring crew that was like checking all the stuff.
Yeah, he was hiding among the ring crew.
Yeah. How many was it? JD and was JD and Brandy both just hiding under there the whole freaking time?
Because like JD also seemed to come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But man, okay, so that the opening was great. Cool. It was a little weird that they had Rusev come out to attack Alpha Academy. It's like, but hey,
whatever.
It's just to show that he's a wrecking machine. He's back and he's a wrecking machine. So apparently he signed a 2-year deal. Lana is not going to be active at the moment. She's apparently just signed a Legends deal as well, so good for her. Yeah. But she was tweeting out that she was very excited and happy. She was backstage. Her and Rusev Miro took a bunch of photos. And the word is that a lot of people there are very happy that they're back. It's like you can tell from the photos that they're having a great time being backstage. Almost forgot. One thing concerning here, did you see the behind the scenes video where Stone Cold went up and hugged Io and told her that she had a fucking awesome match?
No, I haven't seen that behind the scenes that you posted yet. I was going to wait.
No, it's in the thumbnail for the video. You see Stone Cold standing with Io. It's like he basically went up to her and hugged her and was like, "It's like you had a fucking awesome match."
Oh, by the way,
Io was just like, oh, like I'm getting flowers from Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Also, speaking about Stone Cold, make sure he can drive an 8.
Yeah, I almost forgot about that. Yeah, it's like hopefully that fan didn't get seriously hurt Because
no,
I
did.
think Steve had a little bit before he
Yeah.
went out.
Well, yeah, he missed the ramp and then he couldn't make a turn. Oh, anyway, that's a tough point.
Anyway,
but
bring that up. Cool. Rusev return, awesome. Oh
the
my
live
God.
live Raquel. As soon as they said this match, I'm like, oh, okay, live and them are getting it back.
Yeah, I was like, as soon as I heard, I was like, they're going to be winning the tag titles back here.
Yeah.
And after it was over, I'm like, okay, I think the Becky. Okay, they're going to do the Becky heel turn now. And I was like, oh, yep, there it is.
Okay. And some people were mad about it. Some people weren't. I didn't mind it. Whatever.
I didn't mind it because
it's different.
I had a feeling it was going to eventually happen because people were speculating that before Bayley was removed from the picture, that this was going to lead to Bayley turning on Lyra eventually. And then have a feud. It's like we were partially right. Someone turned on her, but it was Becky that turned on her, not Bayley. Plus, this leaves two interesting possibilities open for who took Bayley out. Now, the obvious is that maybe it was Becky all along who did it, so that she could take her spot, or they could still have it be Roxanne and revisit Roxanne and Bayley after Roxanne goes to the main roster.
Yeah,
those are the only two. It was Becky or Roxanne are the only two people attacking her that make sense because definitely Liv and Raquel had nothing to do with that. It's like it's like because they're not going to do it. It's like because it's like they were like we had nothing to do with Jade and they were it's like they're not going to. I mean, if they're going to take someone out, they're going to brag about it. It's like, it's like they're not going to protest their innocence.
Yeah. Well, the fan does sell better than Paul Heyman taking a Superman punch. That's for sure. Because
that was a good one, DSG. That was a good one.
Yeah.
So this is actually good for Lyra because Becky's going to help her get over again on the main roster.
Mm-hmm.
With this, they're going to have a feud. She's probably going to take the title from her, and then Lyra will be able to win it back. And that it's like so.
My hope with this,
I hope is that she does a different kind of heel character because the big time Beck's heel didn't 100% work.
No.
It's like it wasn't that she wasn't putting the effort into it. Is that the fans still loved her so much they didn't want to boo her, even when she was what she was doing to Bianca. It's like it's really hard when someone becomes that beloved by the fans. It's really hard for them to go heel because the fans are like, "We love you so much. We don't want to boo you." It's like and that's what happened with even though Cena was the heel, the fans were still cheering for him because they wanted to see him win number 17 and booing Cody by default.
Yeah. Well, they definitely are booing John now just because the match sucked.
Yeah.
But
they're going to be cheering for Randy because they love Randy. It's like now that he's got 17, now it's like okay, now he can. It's like okay, he's had 17. Now it's just a matter of how long he's going to hold it before.
Yeah.
Most likely, Cody's going to win it back either by SummerSlam or Survivor Series, depending on what they decide to do. Is my guess. But we're going to have some awesome matchups in between because you can have because we already got babyface Randy versus heel Cena, which is a dynamic they've never done before.
Mm-hmm.
Punk Cena, babyface Punk versus heel Cena, also flip flop of.
I don't know if we're gonna get that match of Money in the Bank dealing with what we just had.
Yeah, it's like I thought that was one way they could go with them and Money in the Bank, but as we saw with the main event, Punk and Roman got their hands full with Heyman's new faction. So that's because that's going to be and Paul hinted that this is going to be a very long-term storyline going all the way into Mania next year. So let's see what else. The James celebration was nice. Some people,
I thought Sammy was going to turn.
Yeah, it's like the way they positioned the camera and the way Sammy was looking at him was like, no, Sammy, don't turn on. Oh, thank God.
Yeah, and then Jimmy came out. We're like, okay, they're not going to do anything.
It's like for a second there, I was worried. I was like, no,
you have to let Jay get his flowers a little bit.
Yes,
right. And his celebration at Mania, while good, it seemed like they missed the camera cut. It wasn't produced correctly to me. It didn't make that teary-eyed magical moment that I felt on Raw after Mania with Sammy and then Jimmy coming out and them all three just hugging. I think that's why they were like, all right, let's just have Sammy and Jimmy both go out there and really get that moment back that Jay definitely deserved.
Yeah. That was great. Oh my God, the Gunther going after Cole McAfee. that shocked me, and I thought it was well executed.
Mm-hmm.
Holy
Now, do you think this takes Pat out for a little bit, or no?
No, I think it feels like it's setting up a Gunther Pat McAfee match, maybe at Backlash.
Okay.
But man, he got the heat, man. The Pins, although some people were enjoying Gunther choking out Pat McAfee, like our buddy John Ruckus.
Yeah, some people don't like McAfee.
Now that is McAfee enjoyed the fact that Gunther choked him out.
No, that is for what I've seen. McAfee is if you don't like McAfee, you're part of the minority. For what I see, I mean, I personally think I like McAfee for the fact that it brings the best out of Cole. That's the thing.
Yeah,
Cole's just different on a different level when McAfee's out there with him. So if you get that top tier Michael Cole who is having the time of his life, I will. And McAfee doesn't annoy me or anything.
Yeah,
he doesn't know all the moves and spots, but
right.
Sometimes
but he can go in the ring, man. It's like he
and he sold the hell out of that.
He did.
I mean, him like really tried. He's throwing up and couldn't catch his breath. The only thing I didn't like is all the security guards weren't trying to break Gunther from choking him out, but it was refraining his buddies.
They were keeping the McAfee's guys from his show.
I'm like, they were more worried about the McAfee guys coming in than breaking up. That was that a little semantic thing.
Yeah.
That
was great. I mean, I love how Cole's like, I'm not going to let Gunther stop me from doing my job. The fans love that.
And Cole was still kind of like playing into it because at one point he would go to say something and the test store was like, "Are you sure you're okay?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm doing my job. I'm not." Or like I forget exactly what he said.
Smart move that I love how they sold it like that it was not planned that Tessitore came out and like not in a suit, that he was backstage because of Mania weekend, and they were like, "Okay, you need to take Pat's place. You need to get out there."
Yeah.
So he replaced Pat for the rest of the show.
Yeah. And then Michael delivering that line of, "I'm not going to let a bully keep me from doing my job."
Yeah, that got a big pop for the.
It did get a good pop. So,
one more thing before we go to the Dominic versus Penta match. Yeah, the whole AJ versus Karrion Kross segment was great, and you could hear the fans react to Kross when he came out. Are we going to get a babyface Kross versus Logan Paul?
I don't know.
I think if that's the way to get him over, then I'm all for it.
I mean, the one thing we always said about
AJ said, "You do it once you go deal with Logan Paul." He's like, "Maybe I will." I was like,
Because the thing with Kross, we've always said Kross is really good on the mic. He's always been great on the mic. His in-ring is just kind of meh at best, or bad. It's either bad to meh because a lot of times people would even the matches he had with AJ and Damian and McIntyre. Some of those matches, it's just like Karrion was just so behind. I don't know what was going on. And these recent matches, the Bloodsport match that he had was really good. The AJ match that he had was really good. So he's definitely shown it in the ring. And with his promos and stuff, like there's a reason that they released everyone else except for Karrion Kross because Karrion, they're like, all right, man, let's do it. Yeah. And he's killing it right now.
So I'm very interested to see where that's going to go next. I know some people are playing Penta lost again, but it's like, it's Judgment Day shenanigans. What do you expect?
Yeah.
I did not expect JD to return. That was another nice surprise.
He got a pop too.
I loved Finn's whole he's trying to make it look like everything's okay. You can tell he's not thrilled with what's going on, man. He feels like he's the odd man out right now, and I can't wait to see where this is going to go because something's going to come to a boil real soon.
Yeah.
Yep. Because did you see how he was eyeing the IC title on Dom's shoulder, like Randy was eyeing the WWE title on Cody's shoulder for months?
Yeah. And speaking of DSG, when you were saying that Dom is not believable because he loses too much, Finn hasn't won shit forever.
Right.
So you might have the same opinion on that.
Oh, and then we got the cherry on top with this main event segment. Holy fuck! Okay, I love how all this played out. It's like, he was cutting the promo and then Punk came out. I was like, okay, yep, there's Punk. And then they took him down. And then I love how Heyman did a great hint where he's like hinting about how this is the start of something that's going to lead all the way into Mania in New Orleans next year in Mania 42. And they did a nice fake out I was like, wait a minute, that's it? It's like that's it. It's like when I saw the credits and everything. I
don't trust the credits anymore. Ever since Survivor Series 2 years ago, I don't trust it.
Yeah, you can't. And then it's like as soon as, but then Roman's music hit, I was like, okay, no, we're not done yet.
Yeah.
Well, I actually popped when he he Superman punched Heyman. I was like, oh damn.
Yeah. Which brings me back to the fan sells better than half the roster because damn, Heyman really got up quick after that Superman punch.
But man, when I was like, oh my god, I was like, what? I knew something was about to happen because I'm like, there's no way he was going to spear Heyman. He would literally he would kill poor Heyman.
Well, you notice when he did the ooh-ah, he kind of was like this, like he was like you can see his head like not like tilt to make sure Braun was there.
Yeah, but then he gets speared as soon as even though I was like, Braun breaker.
Yeah.
It's like, and then it's like, it's something we've talked about for a while, and this was foreshadowed 2 years ago on NXT 2.0 when Heyman went down and was in Braun's corner for a big match he had against Carmelo Hayes, where John Cena was in his corner. This was around like SummerSlam time there because that was part of the Cena versus Roman at SummerSlam that year, and it's like, and people have said that Heyman's been working with Braun behind the scenes with his promo and other stuff. So I was like, this is perfect. This is why they took the IC title off him, because now he's now in the main event level. He's now in a main event program. He's a Paul Heyman guy. He's now part of the first cog in this new faction that Heyman and Seth are putting together. And Braun and Seth versus Punk and Roman at Backlash. Fuck yeah, sign me up. That's gonna be a banger.
And the fact that the interactions between Roman and Punk are gonna be hilarious because they just have such an odd.
Because they're gonna be like, we don't like each other, but we God, we got it. We don't have a choice. We got to work together because fuck these guys.
He was like, well, I can just see Roman being like, what's up with your best friend? What's up with your wise man? Because obviously he doesn't like you anymore. You know, that whole like it's Punk and Roman. They're gonna kill
super spear everything. Where it's like Seth being like, I run. It's like I run this place now.
All right. So that being said, I know I posted it, and all the fan theories are out there. You can tell what age group you are based on where you think this faction is going, because the younger age group, which is like
we're comparing it to Evolution.
Yeah, we're like, oh, Evolution. I'm like, no. Dangerous Alliance. Yes. So for those kids out there that don't know, Dangerous Alliance was in WCW. It was Paul Heyman's baby. Okay, because he basically was like, we need something for War Games, right? That's pretty much why they made the faction.
He was like, we need a new big heel faction besides the Horsemen, and he came up with the idea of the Dangerous Alliance, where he brought all these heels together under his management, and they had a woman too. They had Medusa as well.
That was the first Heyman woman. Medusa was the first Heyman woman.
Steve Austin, Arn Anderson, Larry Zbyszko, and Bobby Eaton.
Yep.
And they were running roughshod over WCW, like Horsemen, NWO, kind of like they were taking titles, they were beating up baby faces. So, and it led and eventually built up to one of probably the best War Games match ever in 1992 at where the Dangerous Alliance took on a babyface team led by Sting, and it was a hell of a babyface team because Sting had Dustin Rhodes, Ricky Steamboat, Nikita Koloff, Barry Windham. It's one of the most awesomest War Games matches ever. It's like,
of course, Dustin Rhodes is going to be a part of it because his dad was the one that invented it.
Yeah, and it's like you lose track of how many people are bleeding in that match. Like, it is on YouTube. Go check it out if you've never seen it. It's
probably on the vault.
It's awesome.
It's probably in the vault.
But that was the beginning and the end because after them losing the War Games match was when the faction started to fall apart.
Right.
But and that's what I thought of as soon as I was like, oh, are we getting like a modern day version of Dangerous Alliance here? Because we haven't seen Heyman purposely form a faction like this in WWE. Yes, the Bloodline was a faction, but he didn't put that together. That was Roman bringing in his family.
Right.
This is Heyman picking multiple Paul Heyman guys. Seth was the first. Now they got Braun. So now everyone's going to be wondering who's next and how many more are going to join
All right.
this new faction.
So let us put on our fantasy booking hats.
Yeah.
And I will tell you what I think, and then you will concur on what you think. So I think they will add a female. Some would think it would be Becky,
but
I would say no.
But she's going to avoid that because her and Seth have avoided being in the same story sphere.
Correct. Same thing with Montez Ford and Bianca. They don't own the sphere. If I had a choice, because I think they're going to add a tag team.
Okay. Oh, yeah, they're definitely going to get a tag team.
Now, if I had a choice, I would say add the Street Profits. But
if they were on Raw, that would make sense.
But they're not on Raw, so it doesn't make sense.
New Day would not make sense.
I think this is where Fraxium will make their debut at Backlash and be a part of the Dangerous Alliance.
Are you having them go heel?
Yeah.
Well, Frazier kind of acts like a dick anyway. And also, people speculate that Frazier might be involved because after this happened, Nathan Frazier tweeted out a photo of him and Seth backstage at NXT last year.
Yeah. So I think
because
Fraxium,
Nathan Frazier is one of Seth's students. He's one of his kids.
They might even take. I did see something where they were thinking about maybe taking the mask off of Axiom. I don't think it even matters either.
That's a bold move, my friend. I definitely think they should add a woman. Like they need a Medusa. Yeah, it's like people automatically thought Becky, but no, it's like Becky's not. Like I said, her and Seth don't want to mix stuff because last time they did that when they were feuding with Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans was a total disaster. Yeah. And it's like they don't want to do that again.
I would
Roxanne work?
I don't think they're going to go with 3 rookies, or they might do Roxanne.
Well, because they're definitely going to be looking to pick people they think they can help elevate, because obviously this is about them bringing Braun in is helping to elevate Braun to main event level.
Right.
And this is obviously Seth is going to be the head, and it's like this is about him helping elevate Braun and whoever else is going to join the faction.
Right. So, but the thing is, I think because Fraxium, which can just knock it out of the park on day one, I think, yes, Roxanne, I was talking about Roxanne, but I'm like, no, I think they might go with a more powerful female, like established wrestler. Like they could, I mean, I don't think it's going to happen now because Becky's heel, but they could have gone Bailey in that situation. That would just been interesting. I just don't think they're going to do it.
Yeah.
But I just feel like the female is not going to, as much as I want them to have Roxanne there, I think that's just too many new people to where people might not buy in if it doesn't work right off the bat.
If I thought Julia was coming up against him soon, heel Julia I think would work, especially with Heyman. Like her English has come along pretty well, like Stephanie's, and like she can cut good promos, but it's like she has that aura of like she's a fucking badass. Do not fuck with her. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Obviously, if Liv wasn't doing stuff with Dom and Judgment Day and all that stuff, I'd say that would make sense. Yeah, that would make like the most sense. But it's just she's too tied up. I'm trying to think about
it. I think they're definitely going to add a tag team and one other person, and hopefully maybe a woman. Because
I know they're going to add Shayna Baszler, because remember that she's a Paul Heyman girl too.
Oh, that would be a great way to try to salvage her.
I think they're going to go Shayna. I think that makes the most sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, I like that. That could work.
It fits. That really fits.
Because like Shayna, one of Shayna's weaknesses is her promo work, and having Heyman speak for her would fix that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, and that the whole immolation.
You could totally rebuild her as a fucking killer again.
Yeah, because she can come out and like choke someone out, and then Paul's right there next to her or something like that. So I think, think about it. I think Shayna would be the right way to go on that.
I like that.
That or Zoe, one of the two, either her or Zoe Stark.
Yeah, Zoe Stark could use it as well. Honestly,
like I think those two are definitely two people you can choose. I think Shayna,
because we don't know. It's like, I mean, eventually Julia and Stephanie and Jordan Grace are going to come up to the roster, but we don't know when. It's like we know Roxanne is pretty much like I said, it's like her foot's halfway in the door at this point.
Yeah. So that's why I think as much as I think Roxanne would be great. and I think she would work and she'd kill it. I just don't think they would go with Seth and then Braun and then 3 NXT callers.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So they might. I mean, they might go with already established.
I'm so excited to see what happens next because they're going to build to a tag match, and then they can reveal a new member that'll help them beat Punk and Seth at Backlash.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think Fraxium is the right call there because they were the best tag team literally in all wrestling last year. So
and it makes sense. It feels like that they're going to call them up because the run they had, the tag titles, there's nothing else for them to do.
Yeah.
And the tag division on the main roster could really use them.
They need Fraction back.
Especially on Raw. I mean, like the tag division on SmackDown right now with the Profits DIY and Motor City Machine Guns, that's in good shape. Raw definitely needs them. Because it's like there's not a lot of great tag. The depth of the tag division on Raw is lacking. So I think you would put Fraxium on Raw.
Yeah.
It would be my move.
Yeah.
But this whole thing was awesome and it's exciting. I can't wait to see where it's going to go, especially Punk and Roman having to work together against this we'll call them the Heyman family for now. Like oh God, this is so exciting. Braun break. Paul Heyman has multiple guys now for the first time in like forever. And I can't wait to see where this is going to go.
Yeah.
This is exciting.
Yeah.
This show, this Raw was awesome.
So good.
Holy cow.
So good. All right. We've got 20 minutes left, so we're going to try and get this through as quickly as we can, ladies and gentlemen.
We'll go to Stand Deliver and NXT.
Yeah. So I'm going to try and run through both of these real quick. I'm just going to go through both cards.
Go ahead.
So pre-show, Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxley defeated Fatal Influence, Metaphor, and Roxanne Perez and Cora because Roxanne said deuces to Cora. Ricky Saints defeated.
She's like, "Fuck you, Cora, bye bye," and left her high and dry.
Yeah, Ricky Saints defeated Ethan Page to retain the NXT North American Championship, which Ethan could be one of the guys that joins the alliance.
He could very well be called up soon.
Very well. I just don't think it's going to fit. Hank and Tank defeated Axiom and Fraxium, which cool. I mean, they wrestled their ass off, but it's Fraxium. Fraxium could turn anything into gold. Sol Roca defeated Zarya, Kalani Jordan, Izzy Dame, Lola Vice, and Thea Hale in a 6-way ladder match to win the vacant NXT Women's North American Championship.
It's like double belted because she's also the speed champion. So she's got 2 title belts right now.
Yep, and we were way off on that prediction. Dark State, which we figured, defeated the D'Angelo family in a 6-man tag team match after Stax turned on Tony, costing them the match. We kind of saw that coming.
I was expecting that.
Yeah. Stephanie Vacour defeated Julia and Jordan Grace and Jada Parker in a fatal 4-way to retain the championship because she pinned Jada Parker. And then the main event, this was a banger, but Obafemi retained, defeating Trick and Javon Evans in a triple threat match. And then as far as NXT is concerned, the Judgment Day defeated Gigi and Tatum from their win at Stand and Deliver to be the first to be the number 1 contender. And then Noam Dar, he's back. Defeated Lexus Team to win the Heritage Cup, just like that. Thea Hale, woo, she is back and back. Thea Hale defeated Fallon Henley. Dark State defeated Javon Evans and Miles Bourne with Ren Sinclair. Please do something with Ren. Main event, Stephanie defeated Roxanne. I was hoping for Cora. Nothing happened, but you know what? Sometimes just let it play out. It's Stephanie and Roxanne. Let them do their thing. I was really hoping.
I thought that she was going to interfere, but I'm glad she didn't because that allowed Roxanne and Stephanie to have a banger. And it's better for Stephanie to have a clean win over Roxanne. And then of course afterwards, both Julia and Jordan Grace came out and let Stephanie know that they're not done. That they want the title.
I'm going to step away for 2 seconds so you can give your thoughts on Stand and Deliver, and then I'll be right back. Okay.
So overall, I thought Stand and Deliver was very, very good. We had some really banger matches. There was no weak match on the show. Even the match on the pre-show was solid. The tag title match was awesome. The Fatal 4-Way was awesome. The main event triple threat was awesome. A lot of right people were. Ladder match was very good. Not as crazy as I thought it would. They didn't do too many crazy spots. I was thinking they would finally belt Thea Hale, but I'm okay with Soul winning it because she deserves it because she's amazing. She's over. She's talented. She's got a badass finisher. And obviously they see a lot of potential in her going forward. So I'm perfectly fine with Soul winning the title. Thea, I think eventually is going to get there. Obviously, they're very high Thea because she won again on NXT in fairly convincing fashion. I mean, it's like she beat Fallon Henley in like less than 5 minutes. It's like no problem whatsoever. So the Thea Hale is definitely getting like the push, and I'm glad to see that because she deserves it. She's awesome. But
she's so young too. She has
overall, Stand and Deliver blew night one of Mania out of the water, which was the better show on Saturday. I thought I was really happy with the Fatal Four with the women. They all got to shine. Jada Parker got to show that she belongs with those other three amazing talents. But I knew she was going to eat the pin because they're obviously they're slowly building toward Julia and Stephanie one-on-one rematch. They're saving that. And also Jordynne Grace just got there. She's not going to take the pin either. So, and as we saw, it's like Jordynne and Julia both made it clear that they are like, yo, Stephanie, we're not done yet. So the question is, because they announced Battleground is coming up next month, is the next NXT show, PLE show. Do we go triple threat or do you have?
It's the only thing you haven't done. That's far because you've had a 1-on-1 title versus title with Julia and Stephanie. You did that. You did a Fatal 4-Way. Now you do triple threat.
I think that's probably what's going to go, and then have Julia and Stephanie go 1-on-1 because they're going to drag it out for a little bit, so Stephanie has to talk for a little bit. But because when Julia and Stephanie go 1-on-1, Julia's getting the title back.
I think it's gonna be a street fight or something. There's gonna be a stip involved.
Yeah,
when they go 1-on-1 again.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing with heel Julia. It's like it's like she's got the just like do not fuck with me like aura around her, and I love it.
I like her. I like the braids too.
And I like the braid. Yeah, the braids are badass. So it's like we're getting more bangers from the top of the women's division. It's like
they really upped her self tanner.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like it's going to be awesome. Yeah, and it's like Stephanie. It was nice to have that Stephanie and Roxanne finally got to have a 1-on-1 match, and it was dope as we would expect. So it's like Stephanie gets another big clean win over Roxanne. But yeah, the core not showing up was a surprise, but we'll see what happens because it's like. She's not going to get called up right away. We don't know what they're going to do. If they're going to just be like, oh, we're going to bring people up at a certain point, or they're going to do a draft. We don't know yet. There's still time to do Cora and Roxanne because they obviously set that up because Cora's not going to let Roxanne leaving her high and dry at Stand and Deliver like that slide because it's like Cora did that as like, look, she didn't have to. She volunteered to be her partner. It's like and that's how Roxanne pays her back. It's like nah, girl. It's like there's gonna be consequences for that.
Right. Right.
Because I loved how on it's like she gave like the Stone Cold double bird in a picture at Roxanne on X, making it clear that fuck you Prodigy.
I just want just give me the feud. Let Roxanne go to the main roster and call it.
Yeah,
just give me that.
I think so because this would help Cora. It's like, but yeah, no, this thing with Hank and Tank it worked because the fans were invested in that tag match.
I was not one of them, but the rest of the fans were. You have to get the titles off of them. Obviously, I would have rather have had No Quarter do it.
I think No Quarter can eventually take it from Hank and Tank.
Yeah,
this is what I'm hope for. Because now No Quarter Catch Crew is now in Dark State sites after. So we can see what's going to happen there. Because Charlie Dempsey and Tavion didn't look too thrilled that Miles was helping out Giovanni against Dark State. They're like, what the fuck are you doing, dude?
Yeah. The Dark State, ever since that street fight against the Angelo family, it's starting to really work for me.
Yeah. The one guy Griffith he's really impressing me. I'm like, he's got potential, man.
Yeah.
Now one of the other members, I forget who has been featured on LFG. He's pretty talented too. So
is he the guy with the dreads?
No, it's the white guy.
Okay.
He just can't.
Sorry, Dark State. We're still learning your names just like everyone else in the world.
Yep. So we got that going. It's gonna be. I'm interested to see where the things with Tony D and Stacks, where it is that they're looking at to call up Tony.
Oh, I understand why, but
I don't know.
What are you gonna do? You are take him to the main roster, do nothing with him. I will tell you that right.
That's what I'm worried about. It's like
he's gonna go get lost in the mid card fodder and get released a year from now. That's unfortunately what's going to happen because his character does not fit with whatever's going on the main roster.
Right.
Either you switch his character up because you're already having this big ass faction coming in. You just broke up the D'Angelo family as it is with Stacks turning. So even if you take him to the main roster, what are you going to do with him? Because I can't think in my mind of where you're going to go with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can see where you can do anything with Ethan Page. Ethan Page fits like a glove anywhere you do. I would love to be part of the Deadly Alliance, but I don't think that's where they're going to go.
The other big thing that happened on NXT this week was the Trick heel turn is moving forward.
Yeah.
Because he had a complete meltdown after Joe Hendry showed up at NXT again.
Yeah.
And they're teasing Joe Hendry versus Obafemi. So I love how Joe was like telling the truth. It's like, I'm sorry, Trick, but Joe's right, man. You sound like a whitey bitch.
Yeah. Oh, Joe Hendry's a star. He just happens to be under contract with TNA.
Mm-hmm.
If TNA, enjoy what you got with Joe because guess what? Dude's going to be on WWE by yesterday. So he's pretty much. Hey, but
and NXT people are going to be featured on Rebellion because Ethan Page is in the triple threat match for the TNA title with Joe Hendry and Frankie Kazarian, and the women's tag teams, both Metaphor and Gigi and Tatum, are in a 4-way for the Knockouts tag team title match, also on Rebellion.
Okay.
So good for them. No, I thought Gigi and Tatum got to look good, even though they knew they were going to lose. I think the two of them, I think, are really gelling as a tag team.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, and I'm glad that they're getting featured like this. They're both very talented, and they both come a long way, and it's like, so I'm happy about that. Let's see. Any other notes from NXT before we go?
So Ruckus and Zarya, is that where we're going now?
It feels like eventually Zarya is going to go heel and turn on Soul out of jealousy, because they definitely sowed the seeds for that during the ladder match, where they didn't want to fight each other, but eventually they did because they had no choice, because it's like only one person can win this title.
Right.
Because for most of that match, they were working like a team. Like it's like until they got to the top of the ladder and they looked at the title, looked at each other, and they're like, "Fuck."
Yeah, it was like Kevin Owens and Randy Orton in WrestleMania. They're like, "All right,
let's do it." But Thea Hale got to look great, even though she didn't win that, and it's like obviously they got big things in store for you because she.
I will. Hey, all right, HBK.
Looks like Fatal Influence is starting to fall apart.
Yeah, I think they.
But you were saying about I'm glad that. She's back and she's getting pushed.
Yes, with Thea, we kept sitting there for weeks being like, "Where's Thea? Where's Thea?
Where is she?"
Hey, guess what? You all know what you're doing.
Yep.
I like it.
Okay, one more other thing. The return of Chase U. Good idea, bad idea?
You can do it because you just broke up your other face faction.
Yeah. Plus, he's starting over because Thea's not involved. Duke Hudson's gone. Riley Osborne is over on Evolve right now, so it's like he's starting over with new people.
Yeah.
So
and Chase U's fine,
and the fans love Chase U, so I think that's why they decided to bring it back.
And I mean, I'm not like being like, "Woo, we got Chase U back," because we literally just got done with it.
Yeah,
and you ran Chase U for what, like 3 years?
Yeah, this was all. It's Chase U's been around for a long time. It's like. it's one of the few good things that came out of the 2.0 era, along with like Tony D'Angelo, the D'Angelo family, and Braun and Mello and Trick and a few other people. So, but yeah, no, Stand and Deliver was great. Solid NXT episode with a awesome main event between Stephanie and the Prodigy.
Surprise.
Yeah, no.
Stephanie.
When you've got La Primera and the Prodigy going one-on-one, you should expect a banger.
All you have to have is Roxanne Perez versus opponent. You knew it was going to be a banger. So, Stephanie was good too. So
the future, despite some questionable booking decisions, the future is still bright for the Prodigy. Looking forward to seeing what's going to happen next.
Looking forward. I was getting a little frustrated, and then
I know.
Happened. I was like, okay, all right, cool with Jets. And plus, they were like making me excited because then she left Cora, and I was like, okay, we're getting the feud. It's all coming.
I know you were. I was like, as soon as they happened,
and then she showed up on Raw. I'm like, all right. I
love how you posted. Like, I love when a plan comes together because I was thinking because like when I was watching that on Saturday, I was like, oh, there it is. There it is. I was like, there it is, Josh. There it is.
Yep. Yeah. All right, let's wrap up here real quick with Dynamite.
Let's wrap up with Dynamite.
Rap legend Master P and the Ops celebrate their new AEW Trios titles. Chaos erupts when Master P, Death Riders, the Ops, and the Elite brawl with Kenny Omega and Swerve making the saves. Mojo says him versus Moxley for the title is official. It was cool seeing Master P get a couple shots in on.
Yeah, no, he was
Moxley.
He got a couple shots in on Moxley.
Yeah,
while Joe was hitting him in the clutch. I like that.
Christian Cage and Mother Wayne celebrate Nick's RH Pure title win by Christian Cage putting the title on his shoulder. I thought that was hilarious. Mark Briscoe versus Ricochet ends in surprising fashion with a victory from Mark. Rick tries to scissor him, but is saved by Knight. They were really trying to do something with Knight. FTR to try to take out the Rock and Roll Express out for good, but the Paragon make the save, plus Stokely Hathaway, welcome back as a new manager. I like it. Young Bucks battle
heel FTR with Stokely. Money.
Yeah. Young Bucks, which I think was one of the best tag team matches in a while. That
match was dope.
Yeah. High-flying newcomers Speedball, Bailey, and Kevin Knight with a win. This is exactly how you try and get over Speedball and Kevin Knight. Even though they lost.
Well, it's because Ricochet.
Right, because of Ricochet.
Ricochet came to pay back Knight for helping Mark Briscoe out earlier. So that made perfect sense.
Man, do these four have that was great. MJF says, "I'm sorry to the Hurt Syndicate's Bobby Lashley, but that and his new car are still not enough to get a thumbs up." I'm
still liking this.
I know, like I've seen this storyline with MJF.
It's over
so
the fans because the Hurt Syndicate's over, and it's like the fans are into this.
We hurt people.
It's quite impressive how over the Hurt Syndicate has become.
Yeah.
I love how Lashley did it. It was like he put his arm out of the door of the car. But he's winning something over. So it's like he's got 2 out of 3. It's like he's just got to convince Lashley now.
I mean, I know Lashley did well in WWE, but it goes back to the other thing of like, oh, you can't do anything with what you fumbled the bag. The Hurt Syndicate. That's exactly what they wanted to do forever, and they just fumbled the bag.
The fact that they're this over is proof that Vince fucked them over.
And Triple H fucked it too because he didn't want he
didn't want them to get
MVP went back to him was like, hey, I want me and Lashley put the band back together, and Triple H said no. Which whatever. Their money, guys. Hints. Will Ospreay and Brody King take on the Don Callis family? Takeshita and Josh Alexander babyfaces win, but the Callis family does a beatdown afterwards. Hangman tries to make the save, but the numbers are too much.
Yeah, no, the Don Callis family is pretty large right now.
Yeah,
it's like you got Takeshita, Fletcher, Josh Alexander, Lance Archer, Trent Beretta, and Rocky Romero. That's 6 guys.
It's a big family, man. He's had a lot of kids.
He's got the Don Callis family is pretty large, so it's like that's 6 versus 3. It's like the babyfaces were severely outnumbered.
Yeah.
I do appreciate Hangman coming up because that's tied to him taking on Fletcher in the Owen Cup. So I like that. Yeah. Also, I was glad to see MGF and Hangman is not dead either. So that's it.
No.
I want to see that again.
Yeah, and then a brutal battle between Chris Statlander and Jamie Hayter in the Owen Cup leads to Hayter picking up the win, and we'll face Monet, Double or Nothing, which we know is going to happen. Monet's probably going to win. They're going to have a
cool shocker. It's going to Mercedes going to win the tournament. and she's gonna challenge Tony at All In, and it's like it's too predictable and it's annoying. It's like
it's annoying because it's predictable, but it doesn't mean we're not going to enjoy the hell out of Mercedes.
No, like Mercedes and Jamie Hayter are probably gonna have a banger at
and then Tony and Mercedes are going to have a banger too.
I'm just glad that Hayter is finally getting it's like a renewed push here. It's like even if she doesn't beat Mercedes, this is her going to the finals is a good thing for her. It feels like she's being treated right for a change. So we'll see how things continue, whether she pulls the upset or not. It depends. If they really want to do the Athena thing with Mercedes, have Athena cost her the Owen Cup win, and then they can feud.
Yeah. The only problem is whoever wins between Hayter and Monet, as much as because Mercedes' mic skills is okay at best, they're going to get cooked by Tony on the mic.
Oh God. If it's Mercedes versus Tony, Tony's going to fucking cook her on the mic, man.
Yeah.
She's killing it, right? She's still killing it. It's like, I love it. It's like, it's some sci-fi movie. That's The Empire Strikes Back, Tony.
Yeah. Now, overall.
And then her response, I can't remember what it was, but made me laugh so hard.
Yeah.
Cinema.
Yeah, I know. She's
the best.
She's the best. But yeah, that Young Bucks night speedball.
This was a solid Dynamite. It wasn't terrible. It's like
no, I know JD was saying it was boring and all the other crap, and
I didn't think it was boring.
I
didn't find it that boring. It definitely setting stuff up for Double or Nothing.
Yeah.
So I thought they would say I guess they're not going to have Joe versus Moxley at the pay-per-view. They're having it next week.
Interesting.
But I loved heel FTR try to kill Rock and Roll Express.
Yeah.
I loved as soon as Stokely came out, and I was like, oh, Stokely with heel FTR win.
Yeah.
And then when he went off about how Hangman committed arson, and we're thinking about all the awful things other people have done versus what FTR did.
Right.
It's like I was like, I detect no lies here.
Yeah. I always like the whole thing of like, even though they did something bad, they always bring it. Well, someone did something worse.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
he's like,
that doesn't make it right.
Page committed arson.
Yeah.
Live TV.
Still like that 2-second exchange between the two is like, you burned. It's like you broke into my house. You burned mine down. You deserved it. I know. What? Still love that. But I need Hangman and Swerve to do some tag team stuff together. But
everyone wants them to bury the hatchet and join forces at this point.
Yeah. Because Swerve's I'm sorry. Swerve is the guy in the company.
He is.
I'm not mad about it.
It's like him and Ospreay should be are your two best babyfaces you got.
And the whole thing is like, man, we need to make this segment good. Break glass, Joe, Smo Joe, go out there and make it awesome. Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah, no, Smo Joe's awesome. He's still got it, man.
He's still got it. He's bringing it, and he's bringing along. I mean, Powerhouse Hobbs is perfect for that faction as well.
I'm glad Powerhouse Hobbs finally got. I like that he's part of the ops now. With Hook Out, I think that's a great fit.
Yeah, that's a great fit with Shibata and everybody. Because
Shibata
doesn't have to talk. He's such a good technician in the ring. He's fine. And Takeshita,
Dynamite got some building blocks toward Double or Nothing next month.
How long do you wait to fill? Do you think Takeshi's going to?
Oh, I also forgot the NXT Battleground is on the same day as Double or Nothing.
Oh no, they're doing it on purpose.
Yeah, that's on purpose.
Yeah, they're doing that on purpose. That people are just like, I saw some meme or something saying like, "Oh, AEW is not competition to WWE. WWE doesn't care." 2 minutes later, WWE is booking all these shows in concurrent with.
Yeah.
So it's weird there, but no, it was gonna be hard. Kind of the same thing with this WrestleMania topping last year's WrestleMania. It's gonna be kind of hard for AEW to top last week's show. I thought it was entertaining. Nothing pissed me off. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing actively bad on this week's episode of Dynamite, so that I'll take.
There was no WTF. What are you doing? This makes no sense, Tony.
Yeah.
Like I understand if you really want to go back and
I was entertained.
Yes, properly. I was entertained, and that's what the show's supposed to do. So, and plus, I like that we've seen it for a while, and they finally are now just unfortunately settling into the fact that they have to do smaller arenas.
And it's working.
And it's working because the crowd, because you actually bring in the crowd and you don't have that weird, even if the crowd pops, the acoustics work for the smaller venue rather than having with the same crowd popping for a half empty arena. It doesn't have the same draw. So it just doesn't have the same thing.
Also, that the arena that they did NXT at for both Stand and Deliver and the weekly show this week in Vegas, there, really like that arena. Really nice.
Okay. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's 2 hours, 4 minutes. Thank you all so much.
Whew.
We did it. We got
it through it all.
Okay. We will bring up the AAA stuff and all those things next week because we had like 17 pay-per-views and 13 shows. A lot of wrestling, guys. A lot of wrestling we had to cover.
Yeah, this past last couple days were just loaded. It's like man. But we got a lot of good, especially Raw, man. Raw was the big clear winner, more so than WrestleMania. I'd put Stand and Deliver right behind it.
Yeah, Stand and Deliver was great as far as delivering.
That Raw after Mania, holy shit, man!
That Raw after Mania is going to be.
It's like got lots of.
Even as I'm reading through the rundown that you did, I was still like, oh wait, that happened. Oh yeah, I forgot that happened, and then that happened, and then that happened.
It's like a boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, I was like, jeez, all right.
But Justin, they did so much on that show, and it's like nothing sucked.
Yeah. But Justin, always a pleasure. Thank you so much. Always a pleasure. Then thank you, obviously, for putting some of the notes together for our rundowns. Also, thank you to Metal Echoes, DSG, GIF, Pirate Canvas for joining us and commenting along the way of us doing the show. You. Like, subscribe. We are here every Thursday at 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central. Unless we will tell you otherwise. And then for other shows that we have coming up, obviously we have Rep Sports Wrap It Up every Wednesday. We just had the NFL draft start today. Let me check real quick. And no, Shooter Sanders is still not selected, and we're at the 27th pick. So there's only been one quarterback selected in the first round. So when we said it was a weak quarterback class, it's a weak quarterback class. That being said, Tushka and I will be going live Monday for our Fantasy FRM. We'll be bringing it back in April after the draft has concluded to see what rookies could impact and something to shoot for in your fantasy drafts coming up in August. Yeah. And what other trades that have happened, which I haven't, obviously doing the show, I haven't looked and see if there's any player trades. There has been trades of picks, but not player trades so far in this draft. And then
what's going on with the draft? Because right now, let's see, Baltimore is about to announce their pick at number 27. So the first round ain't even done yet. It's almost done.
Not even done yet, guys. It's gonna be a long weekend. But hope all of your teams. As a Dallas Cowboys fan, we're probably gonna draft somebody mediocre. I'm just used to it by now. Justin, we'll see what the Bills do. Defense, I guess. Maybe receiver. If the right receiver's there, because they obviously can give Josh Allen another weapon. For that. But and then our Rev Book Club, we're doing Mickey 7, the book, which turned into the movie Mickey 17. We will be doing that book review next Friday. So tune in for that as well. It's a pretty solid book. And if anything, if you want to join us, and we always have our Discord members join, the Discord link is down below. It's free. We don't charge anything and all of that. Like, subscribe, ring the doorbell to make sure you tune in every Thursday as me and Justin break down the world of wrestling. And we will see you all next time. Peace.